Hi, good morning, good morning. I'm going to make sure that I see myself live. I'm going to give everyone just a couple minutes. This is the podcasting mini course. This is a 4-day mini course free that's going to be in the group here. All of the quarter episodes will be here as well. Today is the first day. Let me refresh my page on my computer, and I'm going to pin myself at the top too. So, good morning. My name is Jakara Davis. We're going to get started in just a second. Awesome. Okay, I see myself. Let me pin. Make sure. Can I hear me? If you're watching live, let me know if you can see me and hear me as well. Ooh, my voice. And yes, okay. I can see and hear myself. Awesome. And if you're watching, okay, making sure everything's working as well. If you're watching live, put hashtag live. If you're watching the replay, put hashtag replay. I love to see just everyone here in the group like interacting and everything. So thank you so much for supporting the group. Thank you so much for being here, and thank you so much for showing up for your own podcast and the goals that you want to set as well. So we're going to get started because this mini course through these next 4 days, they're going to be very short, little bite-sized pieces to help you with your podcasting idea and to get it off the ground. So we're not going to be talking about any of the tech. We're not going to be talking about any of the recording. We're not going to be talking about any of the software. If you have those questions, you can put them down below. I will answer, but during the lives, we are not talking about it, but we do cover that. Oh, let me take this out of my ear as well. We do cover that inside of your podcast, your story. We're going to be having a live round in June 20th through those 2 weeks. So and 20th through July 1st, we're going to be having a live round of the Your Podcast Your Story. If you want to join, you can DM me, but I will put the link down in the comments as well, or you can go to Let's Try Adulting/YPYS. And there we go. Someone was calling. This is a great way for you to take your podcast from idea to launch. And we had to put myself on do not disturb, but we do talk about the tech and the recording and everything inside of your podcast, your story. I create your trailer for you. There are one-on-one check-ins as well, and but this is just the basics without any of the tech and we're diving into. So if you want to know more about that, just go to letstryadulting.com/YPYS, or you can DM me and I will tell you more information. But today we are talking about the why and the who of your podcast. So again, throughout these 4 days, we're not talking about any of the tech. We're just going to help you build the foundation of your podcast. So the first question that I want to ask you is, why do you want to create a podcast? So this can be how it is related to yourself. Why do you want to talk about this topic? Why is it on your heart? Why do you find this valuable or something that you want to put out to the world? So, like example, for myself, I have 2 podcasts, Let's Try Adulting and See Own It. Let's Try Adulting is something that I wanted when I say when I wanted when I'm growing up as an adult. I'm still growing as an adult, but something that I wanted as like a guide. Like let's talk about some things, but also something that was humorous that I could listen to as I drove to work. It helps me to be a more adultier adult, so that's why I created Let's Try Adulting. I love where it's going. I love interviewing everyone for the adulting. It's great, it's fabulous, and that is my baby. For See Own It, I created this for solopreneurs because at the beginning of my solopreneur journey for the past 3 years, I wanted someone at the beginning to tell me, like as a solopreneur, like how do you build a business? So that is why I have that one. It evolved from Project Podcast. So the whole first season is about podcasting. You'll see some of those episodes here as well inside the group. but then it has evolved to CEO It. So that is two of my whys of why I created my two different podcasts. So first question to you, why do you want to create your podcast? It can be something that's personal related to your heart. What do you feel that needs to be shared? And put these down in the comments as well. And if you don't know why you want to create one, like, we can talk it out as well, because this is a foundation and this will keep you going with your podcasting even when you don't want to podcast. So as question number one, and each day as we go over this little podcast mini course, we're only going to ask about 1 or 2 questions a day. You can put them down in the comments. Let me know if you need help. I would love to see your progress, and ask questions as you go. I'm a person that loves to ask questions, so I have no problem with other people asking questions, and can't help you if you don't ask a question as well. Okay, so like I said, we're going to only have 2 questions per day. So the second question is, who is your audience? Who is the person that you are talking to? This can be yourself. This can be someone else. I'm not big on like being a fine detail of finding their age and name, as long as you know a general idea of what they are. So mine are busy women solopreneurs. They work a 9 to 5, and you just have like details about them. And they have a small business that they want to get off the ground, or they are podcasters and they want to have their podcast go off the ground and to monetize. So both of those are interrelated, because when you're monetizing a podcast, you are building a business. And when you're building a business, in the long run, I believe you should have a podcast, because you can connect to so many people in different ways. So that's why I have both of my passions hand in hand. But who is the audience that you are talking to? Who are the people that you're talking to? Who do you see listening to your podcast episodes? And those people are your audience. So that is all that we have for today for the podcasting mini course. So I will recap those 2 questions. And again, when we dive further into this inside of your podcast, your story, we're having a live round June 20th through July 1st. It is 2 weeks, and I will show up live. We have a private Facebook group. I show up live. I teach on the topics. We go over the all the things with podcasting, from your podcasting idea all the way to getting you to launch. And while here, we don't talk about any of the software like recording, editing, where to host your podcast. We do talk about that in your podcast, your story, because that is a setup for your launch. And we do this the easiest way that works for you as well. Also with the one-on-one check-ins, those are things that I love. And I create your own podcast trailer for you, so that is one thing that you don't have to worry about. But we're having a live round June 20th through July 1st. If you want more details, you can go to letstryadulting.com/your podcast, your story, or you can DM me, comment down below, and I will get you all of the information. Okay, so the 2 questions that we covered here today is, why do you want to create a podcast? How is that related to you? And who is your podcast for? Who are the people that you see listening to your podcast? So tomorrow we're going to cover 2 more questions of your podcasting foundation that you need to even before you can get to the tech part of podcasting. And again, here we're not talking about any of the tech. I want this to be as simple as possible. So put your answers to the questions down in the comments. And if you have questions, then put them down in the comments as well. And I would love to see your progress and to help you out with your podcasting journey as well. Again, my name is Jakara Davis, and I will be back here tomorrow, same time at 8:30 a.m. Central, and the replays will be here, and they will be pinned up at the top as well. But I will be back here tomorrow, and I'll share our next 2 questions with you to go over as we build our podcasting foundation. So thank you so much for showing up for yourself, for showing up for your podcast, and for sharing your time with me today. All right, have a good day. Bye.